Good evening. It is I, Rankar. It is my pleasure to be with you in this evening. The medium decided to take you on a tour of the universe tonight. And so you got to be on the moon to look at the earth and to see the earth from above and to see it in a different way, a way in which it looked very peaceful and nice. It did not matter what the politics were. You were too far distant to see those things. You could only see that it was peaceful, it was nice, it was beautiful in many ways. For this planet is a beautiful planet, and it is filled with many beautiful people. And so it is my custom to speak on whatever the meditation was. And at this point in time, it is important for you to be grateful and happy for the meditation because it allowed you to look at things in a different way, to get a different perspective. And this is really what I shall talk about, is that so much of what you go through in your life is a matter of perception. It is how you experience it, how you view it, the thoughts you have about those situations going on in your life that create your happiness or unhappiness. You see, it is important to recognize that you create your own happiness and your own unhappiness in every day by the way you use things, by the way you judge things. These cause you to be happy, or they cause you to be peaceful and nice. You can think about in gratitude about the things that went on, or you can have the opposite perception and wish that they had never happened to you. And so it is frequently difficult for you to realize that you are the person in charge of your life. It seems out of control, but this is not true. It is a matter of your perception. And so it is how you judge, how you perceive, how you rate, how you grade. This is all up to you. You make it the way you feel it should be. It doesn't, I know that frequently you do not feel that you are making these judgments, but you are. And it is these judgments which cause you to be happy or unhappy. And this is a good lesson for you to know, because this is what places you in control of the things you experience in your life. You can change a situation that you have experienced that may have caused you distress by simply changing the way you think about it. So that if you can change the idea that this is not stressful, this is happiness, this is good, it does not matter that this is happening, for it is not stressful to me. I do not experience it in that way. I think of it differently now. And as I think of it differently, I change what I experience and what I feel. And so I now have happiness in my life, or contentment, or gratitude, or whatever it is I wish to create within my mind. For my mind is the dominant experience of what I go through on earth. It makes the decisions, it makes the interpretations. And as it is my mind, it is how I allow it to think. If I do not like what it is thinking, I can make myself think something different and therefore experience a different world. So that is all I have to say for this evening, for this evening's lecture. And now I am ready for questions. You may ask me questions on any subject. All you need to do is begin to speak. It is not, we do not raise our hands. We simply try, when no one else is speaking, you speak up and ask your question.
questions for the medication. I don't know, maybe later you answer for me after Ranka speak, but I have medication about my son. He asked about the gout.
Yes, is he experiencing gout?
Yes.
Yes. Well, gout is a digestive problem. It means he is not digesting certain substances in that which he eats. And these form granular, I do not know exactly how to describe them, but perhaps like grains of sand. And they get, they are perhaps like grains of sand, and they get stuck in a joint, and they cause a great deal of pain that is going on. He needs to ask his doctor for a diet which will allow him to not eat these substances which cause this issue for him. Do you understand?
Yes, he has to eat diet. Okay.
He needs a special diet, and it's many things that can cause this. Some kinds of meats, too much wine, certain kinds of snack foods that he should avoid. And if he avoids these things, and I believe the doctor can give him some medication also to help him eliminate these issues, he will be able to heal, but he will always have to avoid certain foods in his diet.
Okay, but they have medication for those things in doctor?
Yes, they have some things that will help.
Do you know how kind of medication?
I cannot tell you that. I do not know.
Okay. All right.
But he can ask his doctor, and his doctor will tell him. It is a common problem. It has to do with hereditary, able to digest certain or not digest certain foods properly.
He can be healed from those things?
Yes.
Completely, or this is forever? He has to go with this to the life?
He always has to avoid certain foods if he wishes to have no pain.
Food. Okay.
Certain foods. He will find out from his doctor what he should not eat.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, you are welcome. Are there other questions for me in this evening?
Yes, this is Sherry, and I have a question.
Thank you.
I would like to know if I should stay or leave the position that I'm currently in. It's a work position, and it's causing a lot of stress for me at this time.
Well, I do not advise people on what they should do, because you must make your own decisions in life. But I can give you some guidance in helping you to make your own decision. You have said that this position causes you a great deal of stress. So obviously it causes you unhappiness because you do not like what is going on in some way, shape, or form. It is difficult for you to work peaceably within the framework of your office and your job. And so it causes you distress and stress, as you have said. So that is a very important thing that you have already said, that it causes you stress. You have to consider why you would want to stay within this position, since it causes you so much stress, and it is perhaps a financial one. But can you find a different position, something else that will be less stressful for yourself? Or is that likely to be part of what you do? Or um, there are positions which by their very nature have a great deal of stress attached to them, such as doctors and nurses who are dealing with extremely ill people. If they make a mistake, they can inadvertently cause the death of the person they are trying to make more healthy. So this type of position is stressful. If you are in that position, now that is a much harder decision because you will be needing to find a position in which you can use your current knowledge and abilities, but not be in such a stressful environment for yourself. If there are Yes, if you are in a position in which your decisions and your actions can cause great problems for other people or for the world, that position is stressful in and of itself. And you would have to decide whether you wish to continue in that position or not. I do not think you would choose to continue in that position unless you were paid a great deal of remuneration to make it worth your while. So you have to judge all the criteria for yourself and make the decision that will bring you the greatest happiness. It is nice to be in an important position, but as you said, sometimes it causes stress. Now, if the stress is due strictly to your boss and the way he treats you, that makes it an easier decision in many ways because perhaps you could just find a different place of employment with a different boss or ask for a transfer to a different department to see what you can do. But you must make that decision on how you will handle the situation. I do not give that kind of advice except as I have already given to you, to think about where the stress is coming from. Is it inherent in your position? In which case, is there somewhere else you can use your skills and your abilities and have a less stressful job for yourself? Then by all means, feel free to pursue it. If that is not possible for you and you must think of learning new skills, that again is an additional challenge in order to find a less stressful position. And you will have to consider what you wish to do in this area. So I'm sorry I cannot give you more information in this way. I just need to help you make a decision, but you have to make the decision. I do not tell people what to do because I cannot affect your karma. I must allow you to create that which you are going to experience and how you will react to it. But I'm sure you will make the right decision. Have confidence in yourself to make what is the right decision for yourself. And I suspect you will change. You will try to get a new position for yourself since you are experiencing great stress and obviously do not wish to continue. And you just wanted permission from someone else to allow you to make a move and make those decisions. So know that it is your opportunity to change. It is your responsibility to be in charge of your life, to make your own decisions. But I'm sure you will be able to find a less stressful position for yourself, one that you will enjoy, because you will be aware of where the stress comes from in your work and will be able to make a better decision in the future. Now, do you have other question?
I have a son who is experiencing addiction at this particular point in time. And I try to give him guidance. He refuses to obtain any type of treatment. And I would just like to know how to handle this situation. I try to be very calm and collected, but I would just like some guidance if you can give me that.
I believe I can be of help here. It is very difficult when you have a child that is addicted to substances that can cause him harm, because you know that there is the possibility that that harm will present death and transition, which of course you do not want for your child. You want your child to be happy. You want them to enjoy their life, but they need to enjoy their life in the ways that are productive for themselves, not by taking too much alcohol or other addictive drugs that obscure perhaps emotions and make it difficult for them to make correct decisions. And so for yourself, you are trying to remain calm, and that is a very good thing. However, I do not know the age of your child. Would you be willing to give me that? It would be helpful.
Yes, he's 30.
Okay, so he is an adult male, and it is, as long as he is not living with you and you are not supporting him in any way, those are things you should not do for him, then there is nothing that you can do. You can say to him strictly, I wish that you were not addicted. I wish that you were happy, that you can do your job. I do not know if he is working and successful, but do not support him in his habit by allowing him to live with you, and try not to actually discuss it at all. This is his problem. You cannot solve it, no matter how much you try, and no matter how much suggestions or how good your suggestions are to him. He is in charge of himself, and he will make, and he has been making, bad decisions because he is addicted to a substance. And this is not helpful to him. And so you have to allow him to follow his own course of action. I counsel you that there is the possibility of feeling a great deal more stress in this situation, a great deal amount of sorrow because of your love for your son. But all you can do is send him positive love, vibrations in that way, with the hope that he will make better decisions in the future. And he will be able to kick his habit and begin to make better decisions on his own behalf, to stop taking these drugs and to create a better life for himself. I am so sorry that I cannot give you any magic words to say. All you can do is wish him well, send him love, and allow him to pursue whatever he is going to pursue, no matter how difficult it is for you, because that is the only way he will overcome his addiction. Hopefully, at some point in time, he will realize that it actually makes his life worse rather than better. And he will decide he wants to stop. And then you can offer him help and guidance. But otherwise, you must just let him be. It will be your decision whether you would like to invite him to holiday gatherings that you have at your house, such as religious holidays, or you will just allow him to be separate from yourself because it causes you too much pain to see him. It will be your decision on whether or not you wish to see him regularly. I'm very sorry for the difficulty of this aspect of your life. But that is the best way for you to handle the situation, to adopt a perception and an understanding that this is all his decision, that only he can make him better. You have given him good help. You have given him good guidance. Do not allow him to live with you. Do not allow yourself to facilitate his life in any way. For as long as you are helping him to live a decent life, he will not realize that that which he is doing is actually harming him. And so he will not make the changes that you desire. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. And thank you very much.
I just support you in that action, as difficult as it is. Are there other questions?
Not for me. Thank you.
You are most welcome, and thank you for coming, and thank you for your questions, for that is what helps other people. Are there
Hi,
other?
Ranka.
Yes, well, yes,
This is Mahesh.
Mahesh.
I feel very tired, very fatigued, with the little activity. I do something like walking or little something, anything, and I feel very tired. So I just, I was curious to know if you can see in my body, if everything is fine or there is any problem. More particularly about the coronary arteries, if there is anything blockage in the coronary artery or what is causing this fatigue.
I understand what you are asking of me. One moment, please. I cannot give you guidance on what it is you need to do because I am not certain what is going on. The obvious, most important guidance is that you go to see your doctor, your family physician, and you seek his help, and that he would perform the necessary tests to establish what it is that is causing you this fatigue. There can be many, many possibilities, and it is not proper for me to diagnose you at this point in time because I cannot give you adequate help. So my recommendation is to go see your doctor and seek what you need. If a small amount of exercise is causing you great fatigue, then I am not sure what to tell you. You should be able to use a small amount of exercise, gradually increase it to bring your stamina back. So something is wrong and I am not sure where that something is. So it is up to you. Have you lost your appetite? Do you eat healthy as you used to eat? Or is something wrong in this area? Obviously, it does not seem to be muscular. And so I can only recommend that you see your doctor. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Thank you.
You are most welcome.
And one more question.
Yes.
In the New Year predictions, you said that you would be very happy in your home and proud in your life. So what is the meaning of being proud in the life? What it is to be proud in life?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I-
Yes. During New Year predictions,
Yes, I understand. It was in my New
you
Year.
told me that you'll be happy in your home and proud
Yes.
in your life. What it means to be proud in your proud in the life?
Proud.
Proud in the life. Yeah. What it means to be
Oh, well,
of that.
yes, I understand. Proud. It is to feel good about what is going on in your life. You are expecting a new person into your family. And for you, with this birth, your family will be more complete. Do you understand?
Yes.
And so that will make you happy, and that will make you proud of your life and your family.
Okay.
So it is a happiness thing that I was telling you would be manifesting for you with the birth of the new baby. A great deal of happiness, and you will be a very happy grandpa. And as will your wife be a happy grandmother. It will be, you will be able to take your grandson or granddaughter for a walk in the stroller, and people will admire the baby, and that will make you happy. And so that is what it meant.
Okay. All right. Sure. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Are there other questions from anyone else too?
Oh, hi, my name is Anya. I'm kind of new to this.
Yes, Anya.
And I have so many, hello, and thank you for the sessions. I have so many questions that I don't even know where to start, but I guess I will start with myself. Why is it that negativity comes to me much easier than to be positive? It seems to be positive, I have to work very hard on it. Morning comes, I wake up, and again, the same thing starts. Is it simply because I left Poland 30 years ago and I regret that somewhere deep inside of me? Or it is outside world that makes me really unhappy?
Okay, so what you were saying again is that you are depressed? You are unhappy? I was not sure at the beginning of what you were saying.
Yes. My question was why, in my case, negative thoughts come much easier than positive.
Yes, that was a very clear question. Thank you very much. Basically, because you allow them to come into your mind and it gets to be a habit. It is not uncommon for people to have negative thoughts continue to come into their mind. If they permit them, in other words, do not take action to stop these thoughts and correct these thoughts, then it becomes a habit that you are always thinking along the negative aspects of your life. There could be something that is causing you to be unhappy in your life, something either you are not acknowledging or that you are acknowledging but have not taken an action to change it. So that allows continuing negative thoughts to the thoughts to continue. Now, how to stop negative thoughts? That you have to be proactive. In other words, you have to decide what you will do when you have a negative thought. And if your negative thought is, I hate my life, you have disappeared. If your negative thought is you do not like something in your life, then that thought needs to be changed. And you have to say, no, I live a good life. I am happy in all ways. I am happy with my life. When you think again that your life is not good, it is important for you again to say, no, I am happy with my life. You must contradict the negative thoughts when they come into your mind. That is how you take control of them. And they will eventually stop coming into your mind because your conscious control is stronger than the subconscious mind that continues to give you these negative thoughts. Now, that is one reaction that you can have. Now, if this is being caused perhaps by an external thought or idea, something that has happened in your life that leaves you unhappy. You mentioned leaving Poland. Perhaps you do not have as many friends as you had in Poland. Maybe you do not have family members where you are now. And so this makes you lonely. Then you need to decide to be proactive to try to obtain new friends, people that you can be close to, that you can invite to your house for celebrations such as Easter and Christmas, where you can do things together that remind you of being in Poland. Maybe you can find other people who have left Poland to be in the United States and form friendships with them. There are ways that you can help yourself with this, but it must be, you must determine, is it a question of you miss the way things were in Poland? Or not. It may not be that, it may be something different, but you have to find it out. Having some help from a therapist or a counselor to give you some guidance may help you to find a solution to your problem. But it may be difficult for you right away. So negative thoughts, they may not have come to you when you were younger. You were optimistic. You thought things that had your dreams. You thought that this is how your life would be. And your life is not this way. And so you had a negative thought. And then it notices another way in which your life is not like your dreams. And it's another negative thought. And there is another way in which your life is not like your dreams. And these thoughts continue to come in because you are comparing the life that you are living by the life that you dreamed or you thought you would be living. So if that is the case, and that is often the simple case, that you need to not just create the new friendships and things, you have to realize that the life of your dreams may not be a true life that is possible. It is a dream world, which is not possible. And so you need to think about what is possible and what you can achieve for yourself. That, as well as taking charge of your thoughts, not allowing yourself to think negative thoughts, but forcing yourself to contradict negative thoughts. It sounds like that could never work. I have this negative thought, and this negative thought is true. And I just say, no, that is not true. And my life is good. My life is better. It cannot change things, but it can. Having gratitude for which you have, that which you have, can bring you happiness by simply spending time before you go to sleep at night to think about the things that are good in your life and be grateful for them, so that you can say that you are happy because this is good for you. And it may be that you had a good meal, that you cooked yourself your favorite dish, and you are grateful for the fact that you could cook this. You're grateful for the fact you could eat it. You're grateful for the fact that maybe you shared it with a friend or not, but you could be grateful for that. So you have to make yourself think about being grateful for those things that happen in your life. If you have nice clothes, something you like, you put on a dress or an outfit for the day, and you can be grateful at the end of the day that you looked pretty all day because you were wearing your favorite clothes. You could be grateful because you bought something new. You could be grateful in many ways, and it is up to you to think of these things. And by practicing gratitude and being happy over these things, you eventually will overcome your negative thoughts. So do you have another question? You have many questions, so ask me the next question.
Yes, I have maybe another one, and then maybe next week I will ask some more. And thank you for your advice. I do all the things you mentioned. I have many friends, but indeed nobody will replace your mother or brother. And I do practice gratitude, but it seems like nose dripping, you know. And sometimes are outside events, like, for example, why don't we have a fast train in New Jersey going to Pennsylvania or upstate New York? Why our country is like going down the hill instead of going up? It used to be the greatest country in the world when I came here 30 years ago. And now what I observe, everything is like worse. And that bothers me because that has to do with my next question. Is there really a plot between dark forces who may not be dark because they children of God as well, as I understand, because I read a lot, but let's call them dark forces for now and light forces. And the dark forces work really hard to keep people in fear, to keep people that they like miserable, increasing prices, making us fight with each other. Is that plot really exists somewhere in ether, in universe, that for years, because since we did globally, I know some people have good and some people have better or worse, but when I look at the planet Earth globally, average person, we did not make much improvement from 2000 years ago when Jesus was teaching about love each other. When I look globally at everything what is happening, I think the planet Earth is miserable. That's what I think, and maybe again another negative thoughts. But through my career and 30 years here, observing people and my own life that was better, but then because of the taxes, gasoline, employer wouldn't pay you more, asking for 100 more tasks to do through every day. It became crazy, basically, like crazy. So is there really a plot to keep people down so the dark forces can kind of eat our energy and this way support themselves with that energy because they cut themselves from the light?
I understand your question, and it may seem so, but it is not so. It is your depression that allows you to see the dark forces as being winning. And although you say that you practice gratitude, you are thinking that your boss requires, as you have said, 100 more tasks for you to do, that he does not give you additional money, that he makes your life very difficult because it is not good. And but there may be another boss out there that would treat you better and would not insist that you do 100 more tasks, or would pay you more money, or give you more honor or more appreciation. And so it is up to you to find a new boss, a new job, a new employment, so you can feel more contented and rewarded for your work. I understand your question about the dark forces, but there are none. Those are things within ourselves, yourself. When you are as I am on the other side of life, you see that these are circumstances that come up from within people instead of coming from outside of themselves. Everything that you experience is part of yourself. And it is your decision and your thinking that allows these things to manifest in your life. I know it doesn't seem that way, but it really is. And it is up to you to handle each situation. Now, currently, if you listen to your radios and your newscasters, they are speaking about the difficulty of Russia possibly invading the Ukraine. And they are, the newscasters are talking about this possibility and making it seem very bad. And there are endless discussions going on as to whether Russia is likely to invade. Is it good for them to invade? What would happen if they invaded? And everyone is talking about it. It is important at this point in time for you to turn off the radio, to turn off the television set, so that you do not hear these words, because it is endless discussion and endless speculation, and it does not make you feel better. No one is telling the truth, not exactly as it is, because everyone has an opinion, and that is all it is how they are thinking of it, and what they think of Russia, and what they think of the Ukraine, and what they think will happen. It is all opinion, and it is not factual. So my recommendation in this case is that you do not listen to your radio. Do not listen to your television set, because it does not help you. And these people are painting an example which does not bring any love into the world. And you have many friends, and you share love with many friends. You share activities with many friends. And so you think about these things, and you should continue to think about how good your friendships are and the love that you share for one another. Now, it is important for you to send love. Send love to everyone in the form of you wish them well. You want their life to be good. You want them to be happy. You continually send love in this way, not just to your friends, but to people you do not even like, and people such as your boss who asks too much of you, and you hope, send him love, or her love. Send love and hope that they can accomplish that which makes them happy, because they are asking much of you, and that is the result of their own unhappiness and their own inability to do well. So hope for them that they get better circumstances in their life and they feel happier. And then they will not place as many demands upon you, because they will be happier and they do not need you to do as many things. And this will make you happy. Perhaps they will decide to give you a reward of extra money in your paycheck or as a bonus. because you began to send them loving thoughts. And this is important. It is changing your attitude in this way that allows you to experience a better world that is out there. Because you send love, you fill the world with more love rather than hatred or unhappiness. You send the love out. When you are driving, send love out to all the cars that are driving alongside of with you. Wish them well. Hope that they get to their destination safe and secure, as you will do. If you have to experience rush hour traffic, this is one way of coping with it. And sending out the vibration that all is well. We will all get to work on time, and we will all get there safely. So it is by changing your thoughts on these things that you will begin to realize that there is no dark force, that it was just a lack of love, which you help to fill by sending your love out. You make a difference in the world, and you make a difference in your world. So I would suggest you give that a try. There is no dark force outside of yourself. Almost everything you experience is generated within yourself through your actions, your words, your decisions, your perceptions. These things create that which you are experiencing because you see them. You see them with your mind. And that makes all the difference in your world. If you cannot see them, then you would not think about it. And the way to not see them is for you to specifically think of giving love to other people by wishing them well, by hoping that their life is wonderful, by sending them love. These things will begin to change what is happening around you. It will seem strange at first to think about that, but it is truth that by sending love out, by sending good thoughts out, you will actually change the world that you experience. You will see that people are nicer to you, that they are nicer to one another, because you want them to have happy lives. And you wish this, send it out, and they will experience it. It is something you do inside yourself, but they will feel it some way. It will manifest in their life. And your world will subtly change and become easier. You could try to give some things, perhaps a little bit of money to people in the poor through your church, in any way. Give some things to Goodwill, old clothes, clean your closet, distribute things, give them out to those charities for people that need them. This will make you feel good, and you will be helping others to experience a better world. And this is what you want to do. And then your world gets better as you send out good thoughts, good words, and take good actions to create more love, peace, and harmony in your world. You will see that it manifests.
Thank you, Onkar. You are a very gentle being. I don't know from what planet you are or galactic.
I am from the planet Earth. I have simply transitioned from the planet Earth and am now in spirit. I speak through the medium.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You are most welcome, Anya. And it is my pleasure to have you here in this evening. Are there any other questions?
Yes, Rankar, hi.
Yes. Oh,
Hi.
yes.
Hi, Rankar, this is Soham. Hey.
Soham.
Rankar, I wanted to ask you a few questions that have been on my mind. I guess, so you know, we're expecting the baby pretty soon.
I
It,
think you are expecting the baby pretty soon.
yeah, I guess maybe a week or 2 weeks. I don't know. Maybe slightly more. We don't know. But I guess so. I asked a similar question to you earlier a few months ago. I guess I guess the doctors tend to be very conservative in the medical system in the U.S. and
Are they still concerned about the baby?
they're not really concerned, but it's because Charmy is her age is over 35. It's automatically considered a high risk pregnancy.
Yes.
And they call her in for like two what they call non-stress tests a week to the hospital, and then we have an additional doctor's visit. And it seems kind of unnecessary. It seems cause more stress than it really helps, because she's very healthy. She's taking very good care of herself. She eats right. She exercises. She's happy. She stays active. I don't know. I don't know if we should push hard on the doctors to cancel some of these appointments or just go through with it, because there's not that much time left. And if there was any value to doing this,
Yes, I understand about these tests actually causing more stress and not being of help to you. That it is very difficult. Now, if you can adopt the perception that this does not matter and you do not care about these tests, and she can take these tests without discomfort and just ignore that what they are testing, then you can continue to allow that to happen. But if, as you say, they are stressing her out because now they make her more concerned for the well-being of herself and her baby, that it is time to talk about that with the doctor and to tell him frankly that taking these extra tests stresses her out, that it causes her more suffering and anxiety than it does to alleviate these things. And so therefore you would prefer not to have these tests, that she is young enough to have a happy, healthy baby in spite of the fact that they think she is old, which she is not. And so it is up to you to see whether Charmy can adopt her own mind and thinking so that these tests mean nothing. She takes them, they are not causing her distress in any way. If she can do that, then that is fine. But if she can't do that, which is also acceptable, it is natural, then it is time to tell the doctor that this is stress. These tests only cause her to feel more distress. She is distressed over the tests and what they might show. So it is not helpful.
Right.
And you just must be frank with your doctor and say that unless it is going to make a difference in how he is delivering the baby, there is no good reason to take the test.
Yeah. We kind of expressed to the doctor if these tests are really necessary, and she keeps referring to like this, like she keeps saying that, oh, this is protocol, this is standard protocol, and then but I guess I should talk with Charmy first and see how she really feels about these tests, whether she can kind of ignore them, like not let them affect her mentally. It's just like she goes to the test and her whole day is spent on the test and she's just tired at the end. So it's just I guess maybe I'm more stressed than she is, but
it is possible that you are more stressed than she is because she doesn't come home feeling really well any longer.
Yeah,
she's simply tired from the situation. So you should discuss it with her and check to see whether or not this is causing her distress. If it is not, then it does not matter. You will just have to address your mind.
Right. Is our doctor, I at first I thought our doctor was making good judgments, but and had good judgment and was maybe struck a good balance between being practical and conservative. Now I'm not so sure. I mean,
Yes, she is following instructions, so to speak.
yeah. So it's just, I guess she's just following her training and not really practicing any discretion is any judgment is what.
Yes, and it's possible, ask whether she has seen anything to indicate that there is a problem.
Right.
With only such a short time, it is only 1 or 2 weeks, is it not?
Yeah.
What was your date?
Her due date was February 24th.
Yes. And so that is just a week
10
and a
days.
half away.
Right.
10 days.
Right.
So if she is lucky, she will have it
Yeah.
by the 24th. If she is not lucky, it may go a couple more days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I want it to happen. So yes, talk it over with her and see whether it is just that she is tired from the test when she comes home. And then, just make sure that she rests and don't be concerned about her. Know that she is well and healthy. That is the most important thing, that you say that she is well and healthy. And the baby is healthy and everything will go fine. You need to make positive affirmations concerning the situation to both allow yourself to relax as well as to ensure that all goes well.
Right.
Because everything is controlled mentally.
Right. It's very helpful. I've
And you know this to be true. You have used it many times.
I do. It's I slip sometimes too.
Yes, it is normal. And especially in this anxiety situation, in this situation where you have no control of anything, it is strictly up to Charmy and the baby and God, so to speak.
Yes, it is. We leave it in God's hands.
Yes.
And
Mahesh?
Yes.
Hello?
yes.
I don't know if this will help you any, but I remember I had a lot of kids, and when I got to be 40, and I didn't feel any worse when I was 40 than when I was 39, but I was over 40 and they started wanting to do all these tests on me. And I'm like, what's wrong? Something wrong with the baby? Oh no, there's nothing wrong. We just do these tests because you're over 40. I thought to myself, well, that's ridiculous. And I thought, well, I don't feel I feel the same as I did when I was 30. So it doesn't matter. And all right, go ahead and do your test. It doesn't matter as long as you're telling me you're not doing them because you think there's something wrong.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
and I was fine, and so was the next 3 kids.
So there you see from someone who is experienced being an even older mother.
Right.
And, I would like to add something to Mahesh. I wouldn't listen that much to the doctors because unfortunately it is about the money sometimes. And if you both about to have a baby in 2 weeks, what those tests will change right now? Like nothing except putting you in more stress. But I'm sorry, I used to be hypochondriac. I used to listen to the doctors. Now I don't. I question everything. So I think your wife has intuition and she knows what's best for her on this level. I'm not spirit to advise, but I think women know better what's best for them and their baby.
Right. Thank you.
You are getting advice from the experts.
Yeah. Yes, it's great. Ronka, I have 1 or 2 more questions.
Yes.
I guess regarding my job, my coworkers are very supportive. I've told them that we're going to have a baby, and I plan to take some leave after we have the baby. So we have some kind of major company trade show happening in San Diego in second week of March. So I kind of left it open-ended. that I want to attend, and I will try, but only if at home I feel confident that everything is okay, and that kind of thing. So I guess I will just make a judgment call at that point, whether at the last minute, whether I should go or not, or stay home, and that would be better.
With two grandparents there,
Yeah.
I think your presence will be necessary.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay.
The baby will be well taken care of, and I'm sure you will feel comfortable with that, because my sense is that, or my understanding, I'm thinking that you will be pretty much excluded from taking care of the baby, because they will want to take care of it for you.
Okay, that's great. They have more experience than I do.
Yes, but you will learn quickly.
Yes.
Do you have another question?
Yes. I guess regarding my work, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's just, normally when I've started a job, it's always been in person with, company in person. And this is my first remote job. And we also had a lot of things at home when I first started, home improvements, and then the baby. And so I can't say I've been as focused on my job as I used to, or I can't say that I've been maybe as focused or as engaged in my job as I used to in my previous jobs. Like when I first started, I'm not sure how much of that is circumstance of what's kind of my life events, or whether the fact that the job is remote and not in person, where I don't physically go into an office and meet colleagues in person, or meet customers, or travel, or and a part of me kind of feels that maybe I will outgrow the job quickly. And at some point I feel like the job, I still have some learning curve, but at the same time I feel like I'm ready for something more advanced. So maybe a combination of all those things. But I be more engaged in my job and feel more work satisfaction. And I'm not sure how.
So what is your question?
How should I feel more satisfaction in my work?
Now you are asking me how you should feel. And that is not a question I am capable of answering or should answer, because how you feel is entirely up to you. And we have had a discussion already in that on that subject earlier this evening. Perhaps you were not present.
Yes, no, I was listening. It was very, very relevant. Yeah.
Right. And so it's how you feel is up to you, and how you think of things. At this point in time, you have confessed to me that you do not feel challenged by your work and do not feel the growth. And so you are thinking that perhaps you should look for another job in which you will be more stimulated, and which you can learn new things. You have some understanding that there is some small things that you still have yet to learn, and you are anxious to learn them. You are concerned that the new baby to be and the things that you were doing around the house stopped you from being engaged, but that is an unlikely scenario.
Okay.
If it was more demanding, you would have been engaged. Do you understand
Okay.
what I'm saying? So
Okay.
that you probably have just the same need to find a more challenging position as you did when you took this one.
I see.
And it is to recognize that in yourself, and to do what you need to do to find a new challenging position.
Right, right.
Of course, there are some issues that you will have to deal with in finding a new position. Among them, now you are working remote, and can you work and you can work from home, so you have no need to change locations,
Right.
which is a big advantage
Right. Right.
for you like your current location.
Yes.
And so you will just simply be more challenged to find a job in the same location.
Right.
But it is worth looking for, is it not?
Yes. Yes.
And perhaps, so you will wait a month or 6 weeks or something like this before you begin to take action. But you will find the right time.
Yeah.
I have confidence in you.
Do I guess about the timing, at some point early on, I felt obligated to stay with my employer, for at least 1 or 2 years. And I don't know if that's the right, if I'm doing something, I don't know if I should
understand
feel
what you were
obligated.
saying, but you have given, if you give your employer all the best that you can, and you help him well as long as you are employed with him, you have given him what he is entitled to receive.
Right.
It is not necessary to say someplace for 1 or 2 years. It is going to be 1 year, is it not?
Yeah,
No, not yet.
it's already about 6 months.
And so before anything could happen, you will have been with him about a year.
Right.
And then it will all work out as it works out.
Right.
And
Right.
the obligation is that you do your best while you are there.
Right. Okay.
Anything else?
I did have one more question, just kind of, I know I'm asking a lot of questions, sorry. I just, maybe it's not relevant right now, but it's kind of been on my mind. Just, I guess, from my own experience, I guess now that I'm going to have a baby and have a child, I guess there's a natural thing that I want to provide what's best for my child, and what I can. When I was growing up, I went to a pretty good school, like in middle school, and then high school was a bit chaotic. Ultimately, education ended up working out very well for me. But I look at other parents here and my colleagues, and in California here, like housing is extremely expensive, and yet parents are willing to pay a premium of $500,000, $1 million or more for so-called good school districts. And if you look at the course offerings, they're not that much different from other schools. But what my colleagues claim is that the peer influence in the school is better. And I don't know how much I should. On the one hand, I want to provide what's best. It's something that I didn't have, or I had both. At the same time, the idea of paying $500,000 or $1 million more and moving it for another house is also not a comfortable idea.
Yes, it's daunting to have to try and pay more. And a lot of what is going to be experienced by your child will be determined by his home atmosphere. Even what goes on in the school, whether he succeeds or she succeeds, is going to be a question of the support that you give. There are always ways. You do not have to change. There are private schools that you can send to. There is homeschooling you can work at. There are many ways of dealing with schooling situations. And it is quite premature to be worried about them, because 5 years from now, when your child is starting school, in the traditional sense, that the situation where you are may be entirely different, and the obvious solution will be very clear. So do not worry about it at this point in time. You don't want to change schools or change your location unnecessarily if you are happy there. But if you have to find a new job, you may find a job in an area which is more satisfactory to yourself, where
Right.
they currently have better schools. And so it seems like it will be the right decision. But remember, things can change.
Right.
Nothing stays the same.
Right.
And so you will always face some challenges. And how well you and Sharmi provide a loving relationship, a loving, supportive growth area for your child. So it is that that is among the most important things. Even in bad school systems, children manage to thrive. Sometimes not so much, but many times they do. It depends so much upon the student. Do not worry yet about this. Wait till your child is at least 3.
Okay.
Because
And
the
then-
primary school and the middle school is good. So we are talking like 10 years. He is worried, but it is 10 years because 5 years, maybe we'll go to school. And up to the middle school, it's a good school. High school is not so good, but the middle school is good.
Middle school, it's only that.
The elementary school is
And
good.
he ended up just fine, is what you're saying, Mahesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the end of the evening. It is time for me to say goodnight.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
And so I am going to say goodnight to everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We will be stopping the recording, and you will be able, if you wish to see this again, it is posted through
YouTube
it is on a YouTube, which you can access from the website of the church. So you will be able to see it.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed tonight. I hope everyone comes back again. I loved hearing everyone, and it related, I really got a lot out of it. Some of my questions were answered. through your-
Thank you, Charlotte. So I give you all my blessings. Good night.
Good night.